What's good, guys? We're back at it again with another video. And as you can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about the intensity, the time commitment, the level of accountability that goes into playing D1 basketball, right? But this isn't just going to be whatever I'm saying in this about D1 basketball. It isn't just basketball, that this applies to. This applies to college athletics in general, because when I was just visiting in Louisiana, I was talking to my cousin. He just started playing football at the D3 level. But, around the time he got on campus was around the time I started the channel. So he was telling me how he used to watch the channel, just to try and get mentally prepared for, what was going to happen once he got to the football at the D3 school. And he was telling me that even though he was watching it, it still didn't prepare him for what was coming, because it was way harder than what even he expected after what I was saying in the videos. So I'm like, okay, well, I want this to happen at least one time. I do wish this would happen. I don't know if the NCAA would let it happen, or certain programs or certain coaches, but I would love for, a certain D1 program to get a film crew and just follow an entire season. I'm talking about from when the recruits get on campus to when everybody has to go to class, to when everybody has to go to study hall, to, the whole preseason, to in-season practices, how getting home from a flight, 3 a.m., you got to be at class, 8 a.m., things like that, to postseason, just really how serious it is. But until that happens, that's what I'm here for. We talked about this in bits and pieces. I made the little D1 college basketball practice breakdown. I talked about, my specific transition from high school basketball into the college level. But I never really talked about, it's my mistake, but I never really just really put it all into one video, just talking about the real intensity, time commitment that being a collegiate athlete takes, right? And for me, we'll start this from the top. When I first realized that this was different, what I was coming into was not only hours, after I stepped foot on campus. So, obviously, like I said before, especially at the D1 level, most of the time you have to report to school in June and for the second summer session. And then there's regular students there too coming for the summer session. So we're all freshmen, so we had orientation. So I'm sitting in orientation. Orientation just started. Obviously, I'm a little nervous. I'm at a new school. I don't know when we're starting workouts or anything. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I get to chill today, kind of get settled. My phone buzz. We're in the middle of the meeting for orientation. My phone buzz. I'm like, ooh, what is this? You got workouts tonight. Instantly, I'm like, we don't even have rooms yet. I ain't even gotten any toiletries or anything. And we got workouts. I'm like, okay, so this is what this is. Get to the workout, walk in the gym. It's just me and another big, one of our assistants. We're just going to do a post workout, right? The big is, senior, 6'9", 300. At the time I'm 6'7", 240, but a skinny 240. This is the same big that ended up breaking my thumb later on in the year, obviously in practice. So, we working out, and the hardest part about the workout is, obviously, it's really intense. Like, I'm getting tired, but the hardest part is I got to guard him. And this is the moment when I started to realize, wait, I'm playing grown men now. This ain't high school, because when we doing post-ups, like I said, he pushing me almost under the baseline into the stanchion. Not saying I'm getting cooked. Don't get it twisted, because I was still, scoring, here and there like that. You know what I'm saying? I was still, doing what I do. But still, I started to realize, wait, I'm really about to start playing grown men. And this is just one senior, because you have another junior who just transferred in from Michigan, who's about 6'10", about 270, 280. So I'm like, okay, you got to start eating. You got to start lifting. This really grown men. This is when they started to realize, okay, maybe they weren't lying when they were saying that, this is going to be probably one of the hardest things you've ever done, right? And then, at some point we are going to make a video just going through the entire college basketball preseason, but I'll talk about it a little bit. Like I've said before, you're usually working out 5 out of the 7 days of the week, or you're supposed to be working out 5 out of 7 days of the week. Like I said, it really depends on, the coach, whatever. But, those workouts are always extremely intense. I've told you guys before, first college workout was an individual with just bigs. An individual is just like your position. So four of us. So I'm like, okay, 45 minutes, they said, light, it ain't nothing. 45, I've been done that in high school. When I said it before, but one of the hardest things I've ever done. It was the weirdest thing ever, because this had never happened to me. We get done with that workout, take my shirt off. I'm wringing it out. It looked like gallons coming out, gallons. So this is when I'm really laying on the floor in the locker room, like, B, like, what's going on? Like, okay, like I'm starting to get a feel for this now, for what's coming. Not to mention that whole entire preseason. Like I said, we're gonna make a whole video on it, but you still got weights, and this is preseason weights. So this is intensity. This is hour and a half weights. You got a strength coach in your face yelling at you. There is no skipping reps at all because they're counting your reps. You know what I'm saying? Because you have your own personalized programs. You can get bigger, so you can get stronger. There is no cheating, right? So I'm going through that. I'm sore every day. I'm this and that. We'll just jump into the season. We get into the season just so we can talk about the actual intensity and everything's going on like within a college basketball season, right? So, you know what I'm saying? We start the season. Like I said, go watch that D1 practice video where I talked about the intensity aspect of it. So when you get to college, like, there is no walking. Like, I'm sure if you're watching this and you're going to college, you're probably one of your better players on your high school team. So you don't really have to worry about too much. You can coast a little bit. And I'm pretty sure in high school, because we did it at our high school, you know what I'm saying, there is a little lollygagging from some players, things like that. You get to college, cut it out. None of that, because let me tell you what's going to happen. Because it's scheduled. Everything in college is scheduled because, you know, your coaches are busy. Your coach might have a meeting. Your coach might have to call a recruit who might one day replace you. He might have to do this, and that. So everything is scheduled. So, you know what I'm saying, they don't have time for lollygagging. So I'll tell you what happens if you do, though. Let's just say coaches see you walking, things like that. Sometimes they won't even yell at you. They'll just say softly, everybody on the line. Everybody on the line. And they'll just try to make a joke out of it. They'll be like, why y'all walking? Like, y'all must be tired. You're tired, right? You're walking, so you gotta be tired. That means you're out of shape, right? Out of shape. Hey, coach, set the clock. We running for the rest of practice. This is no joke. This is no exaggeration. This is serious. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. This is serious. If you try and play, you lay. Like, I'm not, like, it'll be over with. You will run for the rest of the practice. So let me take it up a notch. This has happened to me before. Let's say practice starts at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. You know, coach comes downstairs. We get to about 2:10, but in those 10 minutes, you know, I won't say we're walking, but, you know, it isn't that serious. There's a little joking around, this and that. I've had this happen multiple times. Coach come in the gym, walk around, look at everybody, see what everybody doing, won't say a word. Just look around, walk around, look. Y'all don't want to practice today, come back tonight, walk out the gym. The first time it happened, I thought I was being pranked. Like, I thought I was on punked. I'm like, wait. I'm like, what? They like, oh, no, we got to come back at 10 p.m. I'm like, y'all are joking, right? Like, he's just going to the bathroom. He was just playing with us. No, he went to the office. So guess what? Imagine having to go through the rest of your day. You got to go to class. You still got to do everything you got to do, but in your mind, you know, we got practice at 10 p.m. And guess what? 10 p.m. we were all back on that line doing the full practice plan. And this has happened multiple times to me. So when I come to you guys and I try and tell you, like, when you get to college, that intensity level, that time commitment is serious. That's not even just mentioning, like, of course, you know, there's going to be physical hurt. We'll talk about conditioning right quick. Like, I know you probably think high school conditioning is hard, and I'm sure it probably is tough doing, you know, little running, things like that. But when you get to college, it's a different type of thing because once you get to that, especially at the D1 level, really college basketball in general, there is no, like in high school, you might have a couple athletes and then you're going to have the couple players that don't play that much, but you know what I'm saying? They're obviously not that athletic, so they can't really run. So there's not, your running isn't timed like that, or they might give you extra time. No, in college, here's the standard. You should be getting down the court one line in about 5 seconds. 5 seconds, right? So for us, you know, we do something like, it was called like a 22. They give you 22 seconds. They were being nice. They didn't have to. They give us 2 extra seconds. 22, they put 22 on the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So 22 seconds, 4 lines, right? And then you would do 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 33 seconds, right? I've done this before. 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, then come back down. 88, 77, 66, 55. Y'all know the gist. Ladder, all the way up, all the way down. So when I come to y'all and I'm trying to say high school running, it's not the same. It's not the same. And that's just the physical aspects. Mentally, in terms of the intensity. So imagine, I can't remember specifically from early on freshman year, but of course we're traveling all around the country playing these games, especially the roster we had. We were playing like a lot of high major teams because we had a mostly high major starting five, you know what I'm saying, high major transfer starting five, not to mention we had an NBA player on that roster. So let's just say we go play across the country somewhere, high major school, fly back. Let's just say we end up getting back to the arena about 3 a.m., 4 a.m., right? Obviously, everybody tired. Coaches are realistic, so they might give you that day off. But guess what? A day off is never a day off in college. Get that in your mind. A day off in college is never a day off because guess what? You might get back at 3 to 4, but we got team breakfast at 7 a.m. Always. That's a given. Like, you're not skipping that. You got to go team breakfast. Everybody eat breakfast together, right? Then you still got to go to class at 8. There is no skipping class. You know what I'm saying? It's a privilege that you get to travel. So you still have to show up in class because guess what? They will check. They will check all of that. And if you aren't or you are not there, that running that I just described is light because it gets worse than that. It gets worse than what I just described. So what I'm telling you guys is like the intensity and even the time commitment, like it's different. Like I said, it probably won't happen because no one's that bold to will actually include everything. Like the NCAA, like I don't know, a couple years ago came with that day in the life of a student athlete where he just get up at like 10 a.m. and just go to weights, go to practice, and you're done for the day. Not the case. Not the case at all. Let's just say there's 24 hours in a day. In terms of basketball related activities, you're probably doing something from at least 7 a.m. to maybe about 7 a.m. to about 6, maybe about 12 hours. 12 hours, you'll probably be doing something basketball related or school related in general, whether that be study hall, going to class, pretty much from 7 to 6. So most people have like 40-hour work weeks. You're doing way more than that, which is why there's starting to be some uproar about why student athletes need to be paid because you really work more than people who work a 9 to 5. And it's intensive. Like film sessions can be 2 hours before your 3-hour practices. Before your 3-hour practices, you walk into the facility when it's light outside, like bright, like morning, like early morning. You walk out when it's pitch black. Like, this is serious. So when I come to you guys and I talk to you about the intensity and this and that, I should have came to you guys earlier, just really trying to get into it. Like, you got to take this seriously. Like, this is not a joke because I've seen dudes, you get there first couple weeks, you do that call home. Yeah, mom, I'm not sure if this is for me. Like, I don't know. Like, we don't have time. Like, I'm tired. I'm sore all the time. My body hurts. I'm doing that basketball player walk with that little limp every single day. Like, I'm tired of it. I want to come home. Or, I call your AAU coach. Yeah, coach, can you talk to some, you know what I'm saying, some NAIA, some lower level schools? Because this scheduling is too serious. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I've seen that happen. So before you guys really commit, we try to tell this to the kid at the prep. Whatever you think you're ready for, whatever you think is going to happen, multiply that by like 10. And then you'll probably get an understanding at the type of commitment that it takes to play, not just D1, but at the collegiate level in general. But if you're serious about it, put that work in, mentally get ready for it because you're going to have days, everyone does, that they tell you that they didn't and they're lying, that you will be laying on that locker room floor, gasping for air, asking yourself, do you still love basketball? If they tell you that it never happened, then they're lying. Telling you, but if you can get through that, I'm telling you, sky's the limit. But like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Appreciate you guys watching. Remember, if you want the one-on-one evaluations, subscriber breakdowns, they can post it on the channel. Remember, hit me on my website. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next time with the next video.